Hi everyone, it's me again. Still safe, still the same situation. I don't know, maybe not the same, it's escalating, but we are not talking about it. And well, here is the inside of the journal that I've started, the 3 signatures. I've kept working on it each time I felt like I can't stand any more TV or social media. And the first signature, most of it you've seen, but as I went and added to the other 2 signatures, I had more and more, like, what to call it, leftovers. So if I had a strip that I liked, it went into one of the pages. And I kept adding all kinds of like tags, and if I had a leftover like this, it just added it to this pocket. So I just kept on adding. I will go through this real quick because it really doesn't matter with what you are decorating your journal pages. I just started looking over my stashes and kept finding all kinds of stuff like this ladybug flat back stickers. So I added it to this page, and more, as you can see, more tags, just so it would be more varied and have fun stuff to play with. I'm not sure if you've seen me do it. This I've punched from a magazine page. This one opens. More tag. This is a piece of a paper napkin, and here is the envelope that is a, I don't know, covering the signature. So that's the first signature. That's the second one. Here I decorated just with, I punched circles from, again, another magazine page, and I've folded them in half, and that's how I decorated this page. These are just part of a paper napkin. Here is another circle from whatever, just punched it and used it to decorate. And this is part of a paper napkin. I love paper napkins that have white background, because then when you're gluing them, they just disappear into the background. Stamped all over, made a I don't know if to call it a pocket or a tuck-in here in the corner, just from leftover pieces of the 12 by 12 I had. Washi tape sticker. I made a little booklet. I don't know why. I just wanted to put something a little bit different, and I've put this just to hold it in place. Here we go. Just playing with what I had. This was a page in my 12 by 12, and I just took it and made this again, so something to play with. Stickers, washi tape that will correspond with the colors here. More washi tape and a sticker. Finally, I get to use the washi tape. This here in the background, again, a part of a paper napkin. And I've managed to put it before I glued here the side for the pocket, so it turned out great. More of the same paper napkin that you've seen before. Another element just for the fun of it, and you can take it out. Just put a strip here to hold it, and the ladybug is here. More stamping and just playing around with all kinds of stuff. Haven't put anything in here. More punch from leftover pieces of 12 by 12. Another booklet, but this one is also like envelopes on the sides. And I took a paper napkin and just, I didn't want it straight, so I went and cut it with scissors. Of course, the paper napkin is glued to 12 by 12 scrapbook paper, so it's more stiff, and then that's how I created this pocket. And I think it's really interesting instead of just having a straight strip. This is the third signature, and again made a pocket that is irregular and tucked something inside. Just played with whatever I had. More stamping, using leftovers to create this. Again, just punching circles. Here I stenciled and glued this sticker. I stenciled with a stencil and the distress inks I have. A little bit of a lace trim. Here I took several pages out of a notebook I had and just glued a flat back. I don't know what to call it, pearl, fake pearls, and it looks like I put a bread in, but it's not. If I had a bread, it would have stuck here, but here it is, just more pages to play with, to write it or paint, whatever. Another tag. One more with the ladybug, and just a simple pocket here. That's here it is. And just put more tags to play with in this one. And why didn't I decorate this? I'm not sure. I forgot about it. Boy, howdy. I was supposed to do the same thing on this side. Okay. Forgot about the last page, which is the envelope that covers the signature. Okay, I'll do it later. What I wanted to do today is the cover. At least start to prepare it. I'm going with watercolors. I've got two large pages that are larger than my art journal. As you can see, it will give me a wiggle room to play with, and I want to start by just putting some watercolors on it, and I'm planning to stencil on top. Already prepared a tea here. I'm not sure how long this video will be, as long as I can last. So I've got some metallics watercolors from the cheap store that I'm thinking of using. Not all the colors, just things that will correspond with the colors I have in the journal. I've got this is Pelican. I have it like 3 decades. I'm not sure they are making this watercolor sets anymore. And I've got another one. Now, I'm not an expert on watercolors, and I don't care. I'm just going to put some stains, puddles, whatever you want to call them, of color on my page. That's it. So let's see. Not sure I'm going to use this, maybe only this one, so I'm going to put this aside. Oh, I've got another metallic. Again, not sure I'm going to use it. Maybe this one. Okay, so let's start. I've got a water jar here. I've got a spray bottle and one large watercolor brush, and I'm going to put a little bit of water in the ones that I'm planning to use. And let's see, well, let's start with something. I'm also dipping my brush into the water, and let's start with the pink, although as you know I have problem with pink, but I'll be brave. So I'm not looking for anything special, I'm just putting down color. I'm not trying to blend, I'm not trying to do anything, just putting down color until I cover the whole page. Let's see, maybe this color. Yeah, that's better. I'm going to go over this pink one. I don't like it. This one's better. Okay, I can live with this shade. Just going again into this one. I'm going to do them both. Until I've got complete coverage. I'm not sure if they are both in frame, but I'm doing the same thing. So I thought about spraying the pages with water, so it will help spread the watercolor, but then it's making it more thin and pale. So because I don't care about the blending, I decided not to go for it. So let's see. Okay, this one's nice. I'm overlapping between the colors, and as usual it would look like a mess. Not sure what to talk about. I don't want to get into too much of what's going on. Let's just say like any war, it's distressful, stressful, I don't know. Let's say it's not fun and games. And I don't want politics, and I don't want to talk religion and whatever. It's just me trying to do something. I need to distract myself. My workplace put me on leave. They decided that because there is war, they can play with the workers and put me on leave. What can I say? So now I've got lots of time on my hand, and I'm going to just continue doing all kinds of projects that are waiting for me, and because I just can't handle watching the TV all day. It's not possible. I'll get crazy, more crazy than I'm already am. So at least maybe there will be more videos and more projects to watch. I'm starting to go over all the stashes and try to organize, and by organizing, I'm starting to find all kinds of stuff that I saved, and I said I will do this, I will do that. So that's in the planning. I've got like a whole bin with tin cans that I want to do something about it, to recycle, upcycle, whatever you want to call it. So that's another thing that I'm planning on. Do I want to put gold? I don't know. Let's go with it. Yeah. You probably can't see the shimmer of the metallics, but it's there. I'm going for a very soft look because all the papers I took out of the 12 by 12 were kind of watercolor, so and soft, so I'm just trying to go with it. My older boy is in the military, he's safe. My younger one is at home. They are once again studying from home with Zoom. It's like we just finished COVID, and once again they are home learning from home through Zoom. I think it's going to affect their social skills. I think it already affected, but right now it's just adding to the whole thing. Do I want some other color or just keep with what I have? Not sure. Let's try this pinkish color. Ooh, this one's nice. I'm not sure if you can see, I'm overlapping in between so I get more shades. And if I have a white spot in between, I don't care. And if I have some splatter, I don't care either. It just adds to the whole thing. So I keep reaching for more water. Let's see, maybe a little bit here. Okay. Another color, just for the variation, so it would be a little bit more interesting. You see, I'm just putting down paint. I really don't care. Of course, then I need to wait for this to dry, but that's okay. Let's see. Maybe a little bit more of this. And if I think it's if I feel it's not strong enough, I can always go back and add more. I'm not even cleaning now my brush. I'm letting it mix, and it just creates more shades in between. That's it. Here it's too pale. Again, I'm not sure if I'm in frame. It's too large. So I hope you can see what I'm doing. If not, I really am sorry, but I'm just putting down paint. I'm not doing anything special. I'm adding to where I have the pale pink. Yeah, that's more like it. Okay. So, I didn't even touch the Pelican watercolor set, just used the metallics because the shades were nice enough, so I'm putting this aside. And now I'm going to bore you with some flip throughs. I just finished this journal, and I finished another one, a smaller one. This one is just scraps. Whenever I have left little bit tiny bits of pieces from other projects, it goes here. And I need to drink some tea. Okay, not used to talking so much. So these are just from a magazine, just 4 pages, and that's the leftover. As you can see, just glued it, didn't do anything special. And if there is something interesting, I will say something about it. And I used it also, like if I found small bits of pieces like that I cut from magazines or whatever, I found a home for them here, like this turtle. So, or all kinds of stickers. And this sticker came from a greeting card, so that I didn't have anything to do with, so I just took whatever was on the greeting card and put it here. The background is just me doodling with a felt marker. I love to take circles and decorate, and these are just stickers that I cut in half and use them to decorate the page. Really not sure what's going on in each piece. I started it a long time ago, and that's how it goes. Whenever I have little pieces left, they go inside this kind of thing. Once again, I had this piece that needed a home, and the background I just made with felt markers. All of these are rub-ins, the bird and the flowers, and the background is just 2 painty papers on small pieces I had left. What did I do here? I know there is several paper napkins here in the back and some stamping. Little piece of paper napkin that I dyed in the back. This I printed this, just not sure why, and then I doodled. This piece is from a coloring book with mandalas, and I colored it and I didn't want it to just stay in the book, so I'm using pieces of that stuff. And here I just wrote some words from a song that I like. Another coloring book, a piece from a coloring book, and some painty paper. Torn pieces from all kinds of painty papers, and this one is from a magazine, and some stamping. This one is a stamp. Okay, this piece was lying on the desk, so I just glued it here. So it's just leftovers. Torn papers in the back. A sticker. I know it's part paper napkin and part watercolors here. Some scrapbook paper, little bit pieces. Scrapbook paper in the back, some stickers. I had this print. I printed from the Graphic Fairy. You can also print this hummingbird, and this I drew by hand. Just all kinds of leftovers, book page with watercolors, some modeling paste through a stencil, leftover from my faux handmade paper, paper napkin in the back, several of them, all kinds of stuff. Leftover from 3 colors of tissue paper in the back, just torn pieces. That what's made the start of the background, and then I just doodled all these swirly things, and then I glued this sunflowers. More paper napkins and washi tape. Book pages that I just had little pieces laying around. Some of them were with watercolors, some with some modeling paste for a stencil. More tone pieces here to make the background. A piece from these 2 are from coloring pages. So just all kinds of stuff. More torn pieces of leftover scrapbook paper. All kinds coloring. I really want you to see this. You see this here and here. It's from torn pieces from coloring pages. And then you take gesso, blur the edges, and then you can do whatever you want. It stays in the back. So after I've done this, I went all over the page with watered down acrylic paint. So that's the light blue, and the flowers and the butterflies are from a paper napkin with white background, so they just merge into the page. But I really love how in the background I have the coloring pages. More book pages in the back. Some pieces from I don't have, well, now I have alcohol inks, but this is made with permanent markers and alcohol. That's what I've used before. I had alcohol inks, which I still haven't gotten to do anything with. So maybe one of the coming videos will be something with alcohol inks, but you can achieve mostly the same effect with just putting down permanent markers and then splattering alcohol on top of them. All kinds of leftovers here. The background is from a white backing of a paper napkin that I dye. I'm always using them to dye them with my food coloring sprays. Magazine pages, torn magazine pages, and this one is a book page with color, and this is from a piece that was left from wrapping paper, and this were punched from, again, wrapping paper. Oopsie. More of the same. In the background, torn pages of a magazine, and what I love about them, it was from the section with recipes. Believe it or not, there is parsley in the back and potatoes in the back and cherry tomatoes in the back, but it's so vivid and it's so nice. So you can use simple magazine pages. I stenciled on top with this cream color, and the dragonflies are from a paper bag I bought in a cheap store. I bought the paper bag just so I can take out the dragonflies out of. More leftover pieces of paper, and these are from a coloring book. And this butterfly was made with watercolors and stencil. I made a video how to do this, to do all kinds of embellishments, if you want to call them that, with just using watercolors and stencils. And in the back I just smeared acrylics and then stenciled on top. So this is the small one. This larger one, a cover, I'm in love with this cover. I'm thinking of doing a video how to do this because I think it's beautiful, and of course you can change the colors. It's just watercolor paper. On top of it I used the white backing of paper napkins, just glue them with white glue, scrunch them so I will have all this texture. The leaves are just, I cut them out of craft foam, and the stem was made with hot glue. Once everything was dry and glued, I went and just took 2 shades of acrylic paint, thinned them down with water, just because I wanted to see if I can do it with acrylic paint. It would be easier to use sprays, it would be easier to use all kinds of wash paint, it would be easier with spray or watercolors, but I wanted to see if I can achieve the same effect with watered down acrylic. So anyone can do this, and as you can see, I watered down the acrylics. It breaks the pigment, but it doesn't matter in this case because it just needs to flow and get into all this detail texture. So I'm in love with this. I'm going to do it more often now that I know how great it turns out. And I also went over everything with water-based varnish, just because I felt it was needed. I don't know why. You don't have to because it's acrylics, but I felt like varnishing everything with the water-based varnish. You can get water-based varnish in hardware stores. it's cheaper than buying it in all kinds of craft or art supplies store. Wow. Okay, not used to talking so much. Okay, so some of the pages here have videos, so you can just go and if you are interested in something, you can go and look them up in my channel. This one was has a video, and these two don't. I just played with color and stencil. It started with dark blue in the back, and then I kept on stenciling with different shades of blue on top of it. You can hardly see the difference, but there is a difference between the shades, and that's what is giving the background some more depth. And then I stenciled with red and orange. I know you can't see it because it's on top of the dark blue, but that's the effect that I wanted. I didn't want red. I took into consideration that it's on top of the blue, and that's the effect that I got. The orange was more like stenciling and in several places to give a little bit of highlights just in a few places. More stenciling, and this I just drew by hand with a white marker. Well, here I drew this and all of this, and then I just played with my Inktense pencils. I just love them. I thought about doing a video with Inktense. I'm not sure about it. They are very expensive. That's the most expensive thing I have here. All the other stuff are from cheap stores and all kinds of I don't know, like AliExpress, Temu, whatever. So I'm not sure. Of course, you can do the same thing with other stuff that reacts with water, other watercolor pencils, and with gelatos, or what else there is that reacts with water. So it can be done, but of course it varies in the pigment. So Inktense pencils are more pigmented, and once they are dry, they are permanent. That's what I love about them. Okay, all this is from the faux handmade paper and faux rice paper that I made a video, and I just love them. I love all of this. And this tree is from a paper napkin that I just took a gold marker. I'm not sure if you can see it. I'll bring it closer to the camera. And I just went around and to make it more, a little bit more defined. I love that. I don't really like glitter, but I love that I have just glimpses of glitter in some of my papers. I love that I have inside the paper some punched holes from a book page, and some gold from a gold leaf, and all kinds of stuffs going around in the paper. Okay, so here I just smeared some. I had leftover paint and it needed to be used. I smeared it and stenciled on top of it. That's it. Didn't do anything special here. Okay, so this background is just chalk pastels. I just went all over the page, and then I took baby wipe to make this effect. The grass here is from more of the same faux handmade paper. These ones are with that I've embossed, and I showed you how to do it. It's so simple. And so these are from the embossed full handmade paper. The panda I made just from a coloring book, as you can see. So well, this one, the black one, is not from a coloring book. This is from scrapbook paper pad, and this one is from a coloring book. And just a little bit of permanent black marker for the details. Leftover painty paper. This painty paper is just smooshing paint, nothing to it, and torn, and that's it. Very, very simple. Torn paper, I love it. I just started it. It was supposed to be just the background and do something on top of it, but I really liked it, so I left it as is. Sometimes if you like something you do, don't try and do something else. You like it, leave it be. It doesn't need any at least I think it doesn't need any focal point or anything on top of it. I love it as is. This one I believe has a video. This one also, I love it. This is the magazine pages with the food. There is chickpeas here and potatoes and I don't know, some maybe roasted chicken here, and a little bit of parsley or coriander, I don't know. But this is just from the magazine pages, and in the back also magazine pages torn and then stenciled upon. This has a video, some book pages, and music sheets and whatever in the back, and then some, I think it was watercolors and some stenciling or stamping. These two also have a video. I've done the two sides, the two pages in the same video. 2 for 1. What do you know? More torn stuff. Just wrapping paper, painty paper, scrapbook paper, whatever. So just torn paper. I love it. More leftovers, more torn paper in the back. Some of it from scrapbook paper, some coloring pages, and then I went and just did some kind of a wash, but I put glue in several places, so when I did the wash with the acrylic paint, I got this distressed look. I love it. I don't usually do it, but I just went and I've done it here. And this I had, the magnolias are from something I bought a long time ago. It was called Bomb Art from Budapest. I bought it in Budapest, and I just cut it, fussy cut it, and then give white highlights to all around it just to make it pop a little bit more. This one has a video, not my usual thing. It's very subtle, but I like it. What did I do here? I'm not sure. I just smeared some paint all over. That's the background, splattered with white. Took a white marker, did this, and just and a little bit of stenciling here in the back. This one has a video. It just scraps of paper in the back, blending the edges with gesso, and then applying some paint, and it really doesn't matter what paint, and some making marks, and then stenciling and washi tape. This also some more stamping. I just love this page. I also love this, but leftovers, at least that's what I think it is. All of this is, I showed you again, these are just made with stencils and watercolors. You get this very loose, I don't know what to call it, print, and then you cut it and you have all this stuff. Paper napkins in the back that I dyed and then stenciled on top and more stenciling on top, and that's it. This one has a video that I haven't released yet. I've made it before the war started, and there are several videos that are waiting, and I just couldn't release. It's just another set of mind. It's everything got turned upside down, so you will see it in the future. I will upload it sometime. And this one has a video. I really like it because it was made from all kinds of scrapbook paper that I didn't much like, and I just did some wash or sprayed or whatever on top of them to make them more likable to me, and some gold splattering. Then I cut them, made the background, and this I stenciled. It's a stencil that I made. So this is it, and I need to see if the watercolor pages are dry so I can start stenciling on top of them. Let's see. I don't know how much time went from the start of this video. I'm getting tired, what can I say, but okay, it's a little bit moist, but I can work with it. So let's see. I took out some stencils. They are more mask than stencil. If the image is what is blocked, then it's a mask, but for all intent and purposes you can call it a stencil. And I'm just thought about combining several of these. I'm not going to use them all. I'm not interested in this one. I'm not interested in this one. Maybe this. I think this is the same one as this. I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, what's the worst that could happen? Now it's very light, and it's going to be even lighter because I'm going to use, let's take something. I'm going to use this titanium white acrylic paint to stencil, and let's see. I don't want to put paint on this cutting mat, so I'm going to move this, and let's take, I have this silicone mat. This is for baking. I use it for arting, whatever, for crafting, whatever you want to call it. And let's see. Let's start with one stencil, and then we'll see how it goes. So because it's a silicone mat, I can put the paint directly here, and if it won't be nice as I think it's going to be, then I can always stencil on top of it with another color. Let's find a sponge that I can work with. Okay, makeup sponge. Makeup sponge, I'm not using the simple triangle makeup sponge. They are too flimsy for me. I'm always looking for all kinds of shapes like this. They are more condensed, and for me it's easier to work with. These ones were once shaped like, I don't know, like a house. I will show you just so. Let's see. I have here. Here we go. Like this. they are more condensed, and what's great about it is that when the paint dries, I take some scissors and I remove the part that is dry, so I can use them for several times before there is no more sponge to to work with. So that's how I do it. They are easier to hold than the triangles. You see, I'm just taking out the dry pieces. Okay, so let's see. Just checked if I'm in frame so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to take the makeup sponge, dab it into the paint, and I'm starting with a with a little bit of paint. I can always add on top of it. Right now you can hardly see any of the stenciling, so I will probably take more, but I still want to see how it looks. I'm going to use a very small amount of the paint, lift it, see how I like it. Don't like it, I will add more. Another layer to the stenciling. I don't like it, I will add other color that will be more noticeable on the page. There is always something to do, so it's very, very subtle, which is not something that I most usually go for, but I think that's what I'm going to do. You can hardly see it. Maybe I need 2 layers, or maybe switch to gesso because gesso is more opaque. But because I've already put some paint here, I'm going to just continue doing this. I mostly want to show you how to assemble the cover, especially that I've done the hidden spine. I want you to see how easy it is to do the cover and hide the spine. So I think what I'm going to do is continue stenciling off camera, and maybe I will add, as I said, maybe I will add gesso on top of it, just so it would be a little bit more noticeable. And when I'm finished stenciling, I'll come back. Oh, now it's starting to take shape. So when I'm finished, I can show you how to do the cover. I'll be back. And I'm back. It took some time. Well, what can I say? Who knew I can do subtle and love it? I'm not sure if you can pick up the shimmer from underneath. I really, really, really love it. So now we are assembling the journal with the cover. And let's see. This is the cover. I'm going to eyeball the center like this. I'm going to trim later. Right now it just as is. Now I remember why. Yes. Now I remember why I'm not doing anything with this page. Here I just did it it's going to, well, I don't know. Well, we'll see. I'm a little bit confused and tired, so please forgive me. Okay, so eyeballing the center like so. Okay, and let's see. Something like that. I'm all crooked. Let me put it here. What did I want to do? Oh, okay. 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 And this one is going on the inside, so I need to cut it in half. This page. Let's take utility knife. Not concerned right now about being perfect. All the trimming is going to be at the end. Okay, so here goes. First of all, I can already put some glue here. I'm using silicone glue. I like it. I pick it in the cheap store. The only international brand that I know which is silicone glue is UHU, what they sell in tubes. That's the silicone glue. Some people told me that Eileen Takey glue, the clear one, is also a silicone glue. I don't know, we don't have it here. And also a Fabritech. Again, I don't know. So let's see. Okay, so first of all, gluing my spine like so. Now it will still move right now. It's better to let it dry and then continue, but I really want to show you how I'm going about it. Maybe what I'll do, I'll put it here, and let's see, let's take this just so, yeah, let's hope I won't do any damage. Okay, I'm taking this piece, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue it here. So first of all, it's going to cover this piece, okay, and it's going to on here. Again, glue. I'm very generous with the glue. Especially here where the spine is. And now I'm taking this piece and laying it here. Now, what's good about the silicone glue, it dries fast, but not too fast, so I can still play with the placement of the spine and the cover. Here we go. Okay, now this is sticking out. I don't care because the trimming is going last. Okay, the only thing I'm concerned right now is that this piece will come all the way to the stitching, so it covers the spine. That's it. That's the only thing that interests me right now. And I'm going to let this sit, and then I'm going to do the other side and trim. So, and of course I need to do this that I forgot about. Okay, so I'm going to wait for it to dry, do what I told you I'm going to do, and get back to you with the trim. Okay, so I've got my cover. Now I need to trim. You can trim however you like. If you want it to stick more than your page, trim it that way. You want it exactly as your page, do that. You want to do wavy, go for that. You can do whatever you want. I'm going to trim it like, I'm going to give it like 1 or 2 millimeters sticking out from the size of my pages, but not more. I'm eyeballing it, I'm not measuring. That's how I work. What can I say? And let's see. I'm gonna flip it over. I don't know why I'm starting here, but that's how it is. Just making sure it's flat, and taking my utility knife. Here we go. Next, once again, eyeballing it. I can also decide that on the up and down I can leave more space. It's really up to you and how you like your journal to be. Seems okay. Okay, I'm just flipping this so it would be easier. People that like to measure would probably make the cover to size in advance. I just like to work like that. What can I say? It works for me. Here we go. Almost done. Okay. Yeah. So I've stenciled the last of the signature, and here it is. Now I'm wondering what kind of closure I want. Not sure about it. Don't throw away leftovers. You can use it somewhere else. And well, for this time I think I'll finish this video. I'm really tired, not sure about the closure. When I do and make some kind of closure, I will let you see it in another video. You can also make the corners round if you like, or put something to decorate them, beads, whatever. I'm not sure yet. So right now it stays like this. Thank you for watching. Thank you for leaving me comments down below. I'll be seeing you in my next video. Bye for now.